What's up everyone, Rant here, and today I want to do another update video, and like I said, I am doing update videos about once a month or two actually, and this one's going to discuss what I'm going to be doing for the next couple weeks or whatever. The first one I do want to talk about is the first DLC character actually for Injustice Gods Among Us comes out this Tuesday actually. They said for both the 360, PlayStation 3, and the Wii U version of the game. And I have seen the trailer for this character, and he looks pretty interesting. His dash looks like it might be one of the best in the game, in my opinion, but I'm going to have to play him to find out. Though, there are a few other things I do want to talk about, but I'll save them for last, actually. First of all, let's talk about what I'm going to be doing this week. This week, when LeBeau comes out, I am going to try him out a little bit. What I'm planning on doing is that I'm going to go into training mode to try and learn a few combos with this guy to see what his best combos are. And I do want to keep in mind though that when I do training mode, I am going to turn off the interaction and transition because I don't want them to get in the way. Actually, and then probably what I'll do after I upload that video, whatever, I'll probably maybe do his classic / ladder mode where I can get his ending. Now, I do want to let people know I have done the ladder classic mode in the game with a lot of characters, and a lot of the endings are pretty interesting actually, from what I've seen though. That so I actually am going to try LeBeau's classic mode for a bit, and maybe what I'll do after that, maybe off camera, I am probably going to practice with him a bit more to try and learn more new combos with him. And maybe try to find some good mix-ups that I could maybe find actually. Some decent mix-ups. And probably what I'm going to do the week after this Tuesday or next week is that from Monday to Friday next week, similar to my week of Injustice, I'm going to do a week of Injustice with only LeBeau to try to at least try to learn as much as I can for each character against his own matchups and see how well he plays actually. So that is going to be coming up soon for coverage for LeBeau to see what I think of him. If I actually do like him a lot actually, then maybe I'll start doing some ranked matches with him actually. Mix it up with some other characters for maybe a future set of Injustice. But I'm not sure because I really am enjoying the game a lot. But there are a few balance issues I do think need to be balanced. But we'll talk about that later. That's pretty much what's going to be happening this week and next week. The other two things I do want to talk about is I made a rant video at least yesterday or 2 days ago that I mentioned that there's this rumor going on that a lot of people are saying that DLC is not coming to the Wii U actually, and people are like, oh, this is official, yeah, they actually said this themselves, in which I did make a little rant video about it. Like, I told them that I personally don't really believe it actually. And I don't believe it because, number one, Nintendo did mention about at least a month before, less than a month before Injustice came out, saying that the game will use DLC, that the Wii version of the game will have DLC for the game, actually. And even the back of the box, of the Wii U box of the game, actually, it even does say downloadable game content. So obviously this whole thing is probably just a rumor though, but some are saying that it's officially true. So I talked about in the rant video saying that that if this whole rumor thing is all true and LeBeau and other DLC don't come to the Wii U on May 26th, no, not sorry, I meant May 7th to say, sorry about that, then I would say I get really pissed off at Warner Brothers and that, and I did tell people to spread the word about this, maybe ask Warner Brothers or whatever, to ask them if this whole thing is all true or is it just a false rumor, which, like I said before, I don't really personally believe it really, because most of the time rumors are not true though, but there are a few times rumors can be true, so who knows, maybe this one might be true, but if it is, I will be pissed off about it, but I just wanted to point that out to people about it, just to let you know. If you want to know more details about it, I recommend you watch the rant video. I'll probably put it in the description of this video so that way you can you get to actually watch the video, because I discuss more about that. And the last thing I want to talk about, which is the most important one, is that I've heard from Warner Bros. And that there's going to be a patch for the game actually coming soon, which which they said is on May 6th, but I'm pretty sure it might come out with LeBeau on May 7th, actually. That's just my opinion, though. For what they said, this patch is only going to fix a few bugs, but they've also mentioned that it might also adjust some balance issues with some characters in that. One of the people I subscribed on YouTube named Maximilian, who is the creator of the Assist Me videos, actually, mentioned that he will cover the patch when it does come out, actually. So at least this way, when it does come out, I can get the information from there to find out what's different in that. So that's pretty much that. And now, if this patch does include some balance issues, I do hope they do fix some of the characters in the game, actually. But if they don't, but if they only fix a couple that aren't really that major of a problem, then I'm kind of a little disappointed about that, to be honest, though, because there are some characters in the game I thought that I do think really need to be nerfed down pretty badly, actually. I do think they need to be nerfed down a little bit. So, like Deathstroke, Solomon Grundy, Hawkgirl, I definitely do think those characters need to be nerfed down a little, but I don't know if that's going to be in this patch, but they have said that it might include a couple character changes, but they will make an announcement about this probably on the day it comes out or a day before it even comes out, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it will come out with LeBeau as well, so that, and maybe what I'll probably maybe do quickly is that maybe after I find out the changes, actually, I'll probably make a little video about it just to point out the changes for the game, actually, what has been changed in that, and for the latest information and that stuff. So one thing I do now, what I am going to suggest to NetherRealm on that is if they do make more future balance updates to balance some characters a bit, there are a few I do think need to be nerfed down a little bit, though. Let me talk about one character that I will admit does need to be nerfed down a little bit, though, but not too much, though. And that's one of my main characters, Raven. Now as much as I do like her playstyle and how much I like her a lot because of her pressure game and stuff from a long distance, I will actually admit I do think she does need to be nerfed down a little bit, actually. Like her push move that goes almost full, grab move that goes almost full screen, actually, I do think it needs to be nerfed down, but mostly in terms of distance-wise. Like, instead of going like from a third core to almost full screen, they should probably only design it to go only about half a screen to maybe 1/4 of the screen. They should only adjust it so that way it could go only half a screen away, actually. So this pretty much will make a lot of Raven players have to dash forward and then constantly pressure him from that distance. And that, if that's still cheap, then I recommend maybe only 1/4 of the screen, actually. Just similar to her move that she grabs you out of the air, then it slams you to the ground or whatever. Another move she has very similar that I also recommend the same nerf, actually, is that when she goes into her demon stance, she has this move that grabs your opponent from full screen away if it hits, actually. If it actually hits from completely full screen. I want them to adjust it so that way it only goes like about a half a screen to 1/4, to only go like about half a screen away, actually. That's what I recommend they do if they ever decide to nerf her down a little, actually. What else was I gonna say? Another one that I do recommend them to maybe nerf down, which is another combo. It's actually one of her best combos in the game, which is back medium hard. And what actually makes it very good a combo is the fact that, for one, it's really entirely safe on block. It's only -1 frame on block. So a lot of characters, even Superman Superfly I tested, she can easily block it right after the opponent blocks it. Even with Superman Super, and it's not going to be able to beat it, actually. But I do find it to be a little bit too good, though, because it does send the opponent far away. Well, like, it's not because it sends the opponent far away or whatever to try and keep them away from you. It's basically that on block, it's entirely safe and no character in the game can punish it, actually. So what I probably recommend they do actually is to maybe nerf it down in terms of block advantage actually. Maybe design it so that way it's only at least 5 to 10, negative 10 on block. Actually, at least this way that some characters can manage to punish it actually. That's what I recommend for that combo because I do find it to be a little bit too good though. Yeah, but that's just my opinion though. Those are pretty much the nerf, and those are pretty much the nerfs that I really wish they could fix for Raven. However, at the same time, I do want some of her moves I do think need to be buffed up a little bit more actually. So let me explain the buffs I recommend them to do for Raven in the future actually. Is most namely her projectile actually. Now I know a lot of people might think, oh, her projectile is way too good, just stick it the way it is, but actually no, the reason why I recommend them to maybe buff it up a little bit is mostly due to a couple reasons actually. Number one, because of the projectile hits high, the opponent can easily just duck underneath the whole time actually, and just all they have to do is wait for it to do a push move actually. And then they dash forward and they can pretty much duck it the whole time. What I probably recommend they should do actually is maybe design to hit mid actually. But maybe slow down a bit at the end. Is that they should probably nerf it, they should probably buff it up by making it hit mid instead of high. At least this way, even if the opponent blocks it though, well, they still take a bit of chip damage from it actually. Or if that's not good, or maybe if that still makes it too good, maybe one thing I recommend they do to buff it a little bit is maybe keep the original high projectile, but give her a meter burn version of the move actually, where it hits mid actually, but it comes out a little bit more slower though. It comes out and travels almost just a little bit medium speed. Like I'd say slightly slower than her original fireball. Or her original projectile, that is. And I really would like it to be similar to Shazam's projectile thing, where he has a regular projectile that only hits high, so the opponent could duck underneath it. But give him a meter burn version where it has a few frames of start, but comes out almost the same, but travels almost the same speed as the original. That way, the opponent can mix him up in that. So that pretty much gives her time to dash forward, so she can start continuing doing more of her pressure game actually. Now that's just either one of those two buffs for projectiles, ones I recommend them to do, to maybe buff it up a little bit, because the opponent can easily see it coming and just duck underneath it actually. So and another thing that I do recommend though is, besides nerfing down her grab moves to decrease the distance further, I do want them to have a few frames of invincibility actually, like at the startup frames. And what I mean by that is that if you see my week of Raven videos, I've mentioned before that, and I think you've also might have seen it in the my video evidence, that I've mentioned that her moves are not really that good. They're okay anti-airs, but they're not really good wake-up attacks. Because if you've seen her frames of animation, even I saw, is that whenever I did the move actually, I saw the animation for it actually, and the opponent pretty much beat it clean actually. And they keep beating it by constantly pressuring at me, and if the opponent actually jumps over me, and even if she does go, most of the time she goes the wrong way actually. So I think maybe for her grab moves actually, I recommend to buff it up at the same time. Buff it up by also giving them startup frames of invincibility. That at least this way, even if you do it a little bit too late actually, your opponent's attack might go through her body while she does the start frames of animation for the move. At least this way she gets a free combo based off of an anti-air or a wake-up attack. And that's what I recommend them to do actually. And I also recommend to buff them up so that way they track the opponent like most characters' moves would usually do actually. Like even if the opponent jumps on the other side in that, the move will track your opponent down actually. In that. One thing, and that's pretty much the buffs and nerfs for Raven that I think they should maybe do either in this patch if they are doing that, or maybe in future balance patches. And so maybe tell me in the comments below actually, tell me what you think of the changes I recommend they do to maybe nerf down Raven a little bit, but still make her good by buffing up a few things. What do you guys think of these changes? Do you think the changes I made will definitely help a little bit, or do you think that it will still make her really insanely good? So let me know in the comments below about that actually. And that's so. I'll actually see you guys this Tuesday actually for some LeBeau if he does come out for the Wii U. If he's not, I'm gonna be pissed off about it. So I'll see you guys this Tuesday actually in that for LeBeau gameplay if he does come out, which I'm pretty sure he is for the Wii U version. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks.